Sometimes the magic you're looking for is not in the tutorial video, is not in the certification that you're taking, it's just in your colleagues. And the reason why I say this is that there are times where we feel like, oh, do I need to improve my career to make career progression? I need to do X, Y, Z. Why you might be right sometimes, but sometimes the magic might just be nearby. It might be your new colleague or your old colleague or your team lead or whosoever that you work with. And the reason why I say this is that for someone to be your colleague, they have to have like similar stand like you, be it in education, skill sets, and the likes. But the issue is that sometimes we try to compete or we underestimate how good or how sound sometimes our colleagues are just because like we're working together and we see their day-to-day mistakes and we forget that even we ourselves, like you yourself, like you make mistakes also. But the issue is that you can hardly see your own mistake. It's someone else that is watching you from their perspective. They get to see your own mistake. So that's just like the inverse way it gets to plays out within you and your colleagues. And the reason why I also like point this out today is that there are times in my career, there were times in my career journey, right, where I work with people and I'm just like, wow. And in software engineering, like, it's about like system design, writing codes and stuff like that. So I tend to look at open PLs. Like if I have access to a repository, I look at the open PLs, look at the comments, look at the feedback, so that I can learn one or two and try to like bring that to my thoughts process. Because in my feed, right, thoughts process is like very, very, very like paramount, and this can even be applicable to other areas, like be it like whatever you are doing, like you definitely going to have colleagues like even in the corporate world or if even if you own a business, you're going to have like people you work with, be it your clients, your staff and people like that. So definitely like you're always going to have someone that you could learn one or two from and add it to what you know. And this actually like helped me in my career journey. Like for instance, like before I started writing distributed systems, I actually knew how to go about it even before I like led a team to like achieve that, to like do a distributed and backend system. And how I was able to do that was that I was privileged to work in a team where I had access to the repository for the backend engineers. And every time they open a PR or they work on a feature, I tend to like go over it, look at what they were doing, look at their thoughts process. And actually remember like a a funny like saying to people that I work with most of the time, like they tend to be bothered about how I'm able to know if there's an issue, be it on the front end or on the back end and stuff like that. And actually, like, it is not really a genius stuff. It's just because I put in the extra work of going through other people's code. I'm not looking at the mistakes, but trying to learn from their perspective. Because I believe that coding is like fine arts. Because for every issue or any problem, there's a perspective solution that can be attached to that problem for it to be resolved and things like that. So I feel like sometimes you don't need a tutorial, you don't need a certification, you just need to pay attention to your colleagues and see how you can learn one or two things from them. Yeah. So just apply it and watch how your career progress exponentially.